share with you how you can build a live webinar funnel inside System.io. So let's dive right in. Let's do a quick review of the flow of a webinar funnel. So of course, it starts with the traffic to be led to our opt-in or registration page. And then we are going to set up a reminder email sequence for them to show up to the actual webinar. And after that, we are going to direct them to the confirmation page that tells them what to do next. And we are also going to build a webinar room for the replay. So this is going to be the replay page. And aside from that, we also need to build the offer page or the checkout page that would be used during the webinar pitch. So let me walk you through how you can do this in System.io. I hope you have a pen and paper to take notes. And if you can, pause this video, apply it, and do it together with me. Let's get started. Since I have already showed you how you can build a funnel from scratch in the previous videos, in this video, we are going to focus more on the automation side of things. And with that, we have created a webinar funnel template, which you are seeing here. So this is how it looks like. This is the webinar opt-in page. It is very simple. It has the headline, the 3 things that they're going to get, and the details for the webinar. And we also have the confirmation page, which tells them what to do next. And we also have the replay page, especially if it's a live webinar, we are going to promote the replay, right, for the follow-up system. Now, I will be showing you what are the automation that we need to do for this funnel. So in the webinar opt-in, okay, you have to make sure that you have a form and it is active. Now, the thing that you have to make sure of is that the button should be in the settings, okay? Action and button click should be submit form. And the redirect should be to the next step so that they would go to the confirmation page and they would know what to do next, okay? Now that's done. And after they register, they have to receive the confirmation email, right? So we can already put those automation here. Here's the automation rule. The trigger is, of course, answering the form. This is automatically selected. And the action is we have to give them a tag so that we can identify who registered for the webinar. And you could already send an email to confirm their seat or their slot to the webinar. Okay, so you could actually add that here, action, and then add a tag. Okay, that's how you add that. And then the other one is send email here. Send an email. Okay, so after that's done, you just have to click save rule and that will already fire. Okay, now after that, we have the confirmation page right here where again you put the details of what they're gonna do next. So in this case, we have a video here of congratulating them, what to do next, etc. And then here's the next steps for them. Okay, you could add to calendar or join the community. Now that's done. Okay, the things that we are missing is the follow-up system. So we actually have 2 follow-ups, right? The first one is we have to have them show up to the webinar, and the second one is right after the webinar. So in this case, it's gonna require you have two options. You could either do a campaign, okay? You can do a campaign, or you could just send an individual newsletter. So let's say the webinar is this Friday. So from today, tomorrow, and this Friday, you could set up newsletters that will be sent each day if you wanted to do it that way. But we have another option. We have the automation, so workflows inside System.io. So let's try to build one from scratch. So let us create the first flow, which is the confirmation. Okay, so let's click create and let's say webinar confirmation, and then they'll show up. Or reminder. Okay, let's put reminders. Okay, click that, and then this is where we would be designing the whole flow. So let's see, the trigger is of course signing up through the form, right? So let us just look for that. Let's see if we have there. Form, subscribe, and then you just have to identify which funnel. So now we have the webinar funnel. Okay, and then you just have to select which page. So of course we have the webinar opt-in page. And then field triggers when a contact subscribes via field form and just click create. Okay, so that is the trigger. So ito yung mangyayari muna bago mangyari ang lahat ng gagawin natin. Okay, so after they register, the next one is yung sinaset up natin kanina, right? You could also do this here. Okay, pwede mo nang hindi yun i-build dun sa page na yun and just build everything here. Okay, so after they sign up, you could actually add a tag. So here you could see na meron siyang options. What are the steps? So action, decision, and delay. So action is when you wanted to have something done. Decision is kapag pag ginawa niyo to, dito yung flow. Pag hindi niyo to ginawa, dito yung flow. So you are actually dividing them into 2 based on the action. Okay, and the next one is the delay. So this is the wait time. Okay, so for this one, we wanted to add a tag, right? So it's an action. So click action, and then you just have to, ayun na, add a tag. So let's say here we have webinar demo. And so wala pa tayong webinar demo. So let's say ang tag natin is webinar lead. Okay, click create. Okay, we have applied that. And then, di ba may email din tayo kanina? Pwede na rin natin yung gawin dito. Another action, and then type email. And then you can just select that email. Yeah, you're officially registered. You can choose it or you can also edit it here. But now let's just choose it because na-set up na natin siya. So ayan na siya. Okay? Now, again, meron tayong dalawa, di ba? Kailangan meron tayong emails before the actual webinar and dapat meron din tayong emails after the webinar. So now, we can actually create a delay. Okay? So let's say, ang webinar natin is on, let's say ang ating webinar is, exact date is, let's say the webinar is on the 9th, okay? 2 days from now. Okay. And it's gonna be at 7 o'clock p.m. Create. Yan. So, eto na siya. Wait until 7 o'clock p.m. So, this is the actual webinar na. Now, we want to send emails every single day, right? So, we want to send an email tomorrow. So, we can add a delay again na bukas naman. So, exact na natin. If you wanted to send an email exactly, then use this. So, let's say bukas ng 7 p.m. din. Okay? Just an example. So, i-wait niya. So, after niya itong isend, it will wait until tomorrow, 7 p.m. And then, that's when you can also send an email. Okay? So, let's say meron pa tayong email na create tayo ng bago. 1 day to go. Ayan. And then, dito mo na ilalagay yung email. We have, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. It's just an example. And then, just click save. And then, there you go. Okay? 1 day to go. And then, now it is the actual webinar na. Okay, so ito na yung webinar. So you can actually send an email here. Let's say we are starting now. Okay, just create. And then let's just put this here. Of course, you have to create the email. Okay, so pagkadating niya dito, sasend niya na yung we are starting now. So it's gonna be the same thing. It just depends on when you need to send it. Okay, you just have to make sure. And of course, right after the session, ito is ano na siya, it's not time specific anymore kasi meron na tayo nito. Ayan, meron na tayong time, right? So, you can already set a delay. Ayan, let's say after ng 7 p.m., di ba, meron na tayong available na yung replay after, let's say, 2 hours. So, you could actually set a delay, 2 hours. So, after 2 hours ng 7 p.m., you can now send another email for the replay. So, na yung replay yun. Okay? Choose. Ayan na siya. Okay? You can do that as well. And let's say after 2 hours, then let's say you wanted to send again ng kinabukasan naman. Okay? And you wanted to be specific. So 10 ng 8 a.m. And then that's a delay. And then you can also send an email as well. So ganyan siya. Ganyan mo siya pwedeng i-automate hanggang sa dulo. So pwede mo nang i-set up lahat dito. So as you can see, we have already the confirmation email. We also have all of the reminder emails to the actual webinar event. And then we also have the promotion or the follow-up email then right after the webinar to increase conversions. So pwede mo nang i-set up lahat dito. And after that, you just have to exit and you have to make sure to activate it. Ayan, okay? And if you already have set it up here, then you could already remove the automation rule that we have here. Ayan, automatic here. Ayan. You could already remove this since we already have the automation in the workflows. So every single time or every time that you wanted to update something here, dito and just update it as you go. So again, you have to use this when it is time specific. But if it is not time specific, then you can just use yung mga delay na 2 hours, 1 minute, etc. Okay? But for a live event, medyo specific talaga yung mga time natin. Okay? So, yeah. And then after that, okay, so now that's done, we also have to, of course, prepare the checkout page. So here, you could actually do an order form, okay? Check out, choose a template. For now, let's just choose a template here. So let's say we wanted to use this. Very simple, okay? You just have to make sure na nakaset up na talaga to. So let's say we want them, or we are selling a course or a digital product. Make sure to create one here. So let's say digital product, FMA, let's say, and then you just have to select a course, and you really have to create a course, okay? So if you wanted to know how to create a course, then you can watch our course funnel video. But for now, make sure to set everything up here, including the price, and then you could also add a link page for the confirmation for those who bought the product. Okay, so let's say here we are choosing this one. Okay, so as you can see here, the billing information, I don't have a payment connected yet, but after that they will go to the thank you page. So just make sure to prepare this in advance. And again, the checkout page could have a sales page as well, so it depends on your client, but usually for us, we prepare a whole sales page, sales funnel for them. So if you want that as well, you can create a sales page for this. For example, let's have this. Okay, so this is going to be the flow of the webinar funnel that you will be making for your client. We have the webinar opt-in, and then we have the sales page as well. It could be in a different funnel, especially if it has a different URL, okay? But I just wanted to clarify that if you are creating a webinar funnel, you have to make sure that the offer funnel is also prepared because it is part of the conversion of the client. It has to be prepared in advance as well. Okay, so and last but not the least, the webinar replay page is used to be promoted. This is where you upload the video of the live webinar and you use this link in your emails, okay, in the workflow. So this is that one that we send 2 hours after the live webinar. So as you can see here, here's your webinar replay access. Okay, you put the replay link here. So I'll put that there, okay, and then click save. That's it. So that's how you schedule or create a live webinar inside system.io. So I hope that clears everything up. If you have any questions, you can ask around our circle community and we'll be there to support you. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.